Hi and welcome to this video. So during the last years I experienced quite some questionable strategies on how to network on the internet, especially on Facebook, which I consider to be, let's say, the most personal of all these social networks out there. Of course, it depends on your privacy settings and all that, but Facebook is really cool for getting into, let's say, long-term relationships between other composers, producers, and clients and so on. So in this video I wanted to come up with 7 things you probably shouldn't do when you try to build relationships and network, especially on Facebook. But first, let's roll that intro. So, number 1, don't tag other composers or musicians in your projects you're about to post on Facebook. Because there is a simple reason why you shouldn't do this, and you can create a lot of harm with it you probably didn't think about. So imagine there is composer A and composer B. Composer A working for company A, composer B working for company B. Composer A is posting a project he has been working on for a few months and is just proud to post it. And in order to create a little bit more attention, he's tagging all kinds of other composers. And among these other composers, there may be also a composer from company B. So what happens now is that maybe co-workers of composer B or even the boss is seeing that post by composer A. And you can probably imagine how much mistrust this could create when suddenly the owner or co-workers of composer B see that he may have been involved in a project for company A or composer A. Please think about this, because it's definitely not a good thing to do and you can create a lot of harm, and you don't want any of your fellow composers to be kicked out of a company only because you tried to create a little bit more attention, right? The other simple reason you shouldn't do this is that you have your timeline already and your connections who can see what you post on your timeline. So if you want to create more attention, try to understand the Facebook algorithm. Otherwise, the Facebook algorithm may think, that guy is posting something but never interacts with others, so why should I give that composer publicity at all? Questionable strategy number 2. Don't flood that person you've just connected to with private messages and sending them tons of YouTube links, Spotify links, or Facebook page requests. This is an absolute no-go, and this is probably 75% of what happens when a fellow audio artist is connecting with me on Facebook. So depending on how well known this composer or sound designer may be, please keep in mind that you're probably not the only person sending some links. So furthermore, it's also a rude thing, because maybe you quickly say hi and then suddenly you flood that person's inbox with all kinds of links. The other question is, why should another composer or a fellow artist in general just check your links? Why should they do this? I know it's not like Hans Zimmer is sitting in his studio waiting all his life for your glorious private message to drop in, so he can finally hire that perfect assistant for his next soundtrack. So I personally recommend that you don't send a private message at all, and if you really want to send one, maybe say just hi and that you are thankful that this person has connected with you. But don't send any links, because it always looks like, hi, I'm that audio artist who is looking for work because I desperately need money. So number 3 is just a quick one and hopefully pretty much self-explanatory. As soon as you see a fellow composer is promoting their work on Facebook, don't misuse the comments to promote your work. This is just really a rude thing to do, and you want to make sure that your fellow composer really deserves to be in the spotlight and not desperately grab the attention towards your work. Of course, there are exceptions. For example, a fellow audio artist will post their work and asking you to post your work or the projects you have worked on below in the comments, which is always a good thing to promote yourself, of course. So here's number 4. Don't put pressure on people. So just assuming you already got into a decent conversation with someone and you are sending a link to someone with your music or your work, don't put pressure on that person. So just in case they didn't come back to you and reply to your message within like a day or even hours. So I've really experienced this in the past when someone back then sent me a link, and only because I didn't reply back within like, I think 3 or 4 hours, that person really dropped a very insulting private message and even blocked me on Facebook. I mean, we have been all in that situation that we desperately tried to find work, but please keep in mind, and I'm just exaggerating a little bit here, but you're not the center of the universe, and other people got their life and their problems too. Besides that, there could be simple reasons why that person didn't get back to you. One would be time zones, which is pretty simple, but we often forget about. Or the other thing is that they currently could be involved in a recording session. So don't put pressure on people, just have a little bit of patience, and if that person really wants to work with you, they will get back to you. Number 5, I've seen quite often, don't post for the sake of posting. So what I'm trying to say with it is that you shouldn't just spend like 2 or 3 or 4 hours on a track, only you got something you can show on Facebook. And even better, just posting that link by saying also that you just spent 2 or 3 hours because you didn't have more time to work on that track. I mean, don't get me wrong, if this is work in progress and you simply want some feedback, totally fine. But please don't make that mistake by posting a link to social networks in order to just create a little bit of attention, disregarding if you just had the time to work for 2 or 3 hours on that track. If you really want to grab the attention of a professional audio artist, they will definitely hear that you didn't invest the time you should have invested to. Number 6, also a quick one, also pretty self-explanatory, but please don't trash talk on social networks. No matter what the reason is, if there is a sample library you don't like, if there is a plugin developer who did something quirky, if there is a composer who released a soundtrack you don't like, please don't do trash talk, because it simply doesn't look nice. It doesn't make you look like a professional, and it lets you a little bit appear as some kid sitting in a sandbox and someone took your toys away. Okay, last point, number 7, don't misuse people. If you are about to become a professional audio artist, composer, sound designer, whatever, every time we meet someone new, we try to gain a little bit of something from that. Maybe just experience, or maybe getting involved in a new project. But there is a fine line between respecting someone and really accept this person as a human being. Because I mean, on Facebook, we just see names and avatars, right? And just trying to progress and get along with our career at all costs. So every time you're trying to get in contact with someone, please only do it when you are really interested in that person or what this person is doing. Don't do it for the sake of just progressing with your own career. This is just an egoistic thought. So just show a little bit of respect. And I'm totally aware that on Facebook you just see a name and you see a profile picture above. But please keep in mind that they are human beings like you and me. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope it came across as intended. I'm totally aware that some of it sounded a little bit provoking, but I just wanted to make you think a little bit more, and hope in helping you a little bit in trying to avoid many mistakes I have been doing in the past. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Thanks a lot for your time. If you're interested, I would be really happy if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and in case you got something to say, just make sure to drop them down in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and see you later.